Check 1 2. Hey, hey. Ready? What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode 104 of the TCR podcast. Let's go. How you feeling over there, babe?
I'm good, babe. You gave me a little bit of my crack drink,
Let's
and
go.
I am 100.
But before we get started, let's get a little fun fact of the number 104,
right,
or
let's
let's
hear
say 10-4.
10-4?
Is a slang term that means message received. You got it?
Got it. 10-4.
Yes, understood. Okay, 10-4. But I did more research, and there's more to the number 104. 104 years ago, the 18th Amendment went into effect, and prohibition started, and the banning of alcohol sales went into effect.
What?
Only 104 years ago. It's crazy, right?
104, that's it?
That's it, yeah. And, I don't know a lot of research or have done a lot of research about it, but can you imagine not being able to go get
to
a
a bar, drink, bar hop.
And
it was boring back in the days, I think.
I guess 104 years ago. But the only thing that I guess good came out of that, I mean, I might sound ignorant, but speakeasies. You know,
I'm dead.
That's where the speakeasy started.
Yeah, I would agree just because I love speakeasies.
Yeah.
And in case you don't know what exactly is a speakeasy, a speakeasy is something that came about during that time when alcohol was prohibited. Basically, it was like underground bars that were exclusive to only like a few people.
Yeah.
And only if you knew somebody could you get in. You would have to know like a
The code.
password, a code. They would be super well hidden, like underneath people's houses or like in the back of people's businesses. You'd go through a secret door. And still to this day, fast forward 104 years later,
They still exist.
they still exist, and I think they're so cool. We've gone to a lot of cute ones. We've gone to one where you walk into a laundromat, and then one of the doors is a secret. One of the laundry doors, like where you're gonna put in your clothes, según, is an actual door, and you walk into a speakeasy. But there's so many more. There's so many more.
For the people wondering where that one is, that one's actually in France, right? In Paris?
But I went to one here too, in St. Pete. What was
thing?
it? Yeah, the same vibe.
Okay.
The same vibe. Yeah.
Probably called the laundromat too,
I don't
right?
remember what it's called here. I suck. But anyways, yeah, super cool. There's still a lot around. They try to keep them secretive still, but it's easier now to find. Just Google like speakeasy in your area, and I'm sure you'll find some.
Yes, so highly recommend go to these speakeasies. But
before we continue, what is up, you guys? Hope you all are having a great day. Mando like super jumped right into it.
Yeah, because I forget about this segment, and it has to be at the beginning. But go ahead.
Today is Wednesday. Technically, it's Wednesday for you guys. And we get a hurricane tonight, babe. But I hope you guys back at home don't have to worry about that. But if you guys are from Florida, I hope you guys stay safe. Took your precautions, which we're going to get into today because I've had so many people message me telling me, Lily Bae, what's up with this hurricane? Lily Bae, give us more information. I hope everything's good. Are you evacuating? Like, I'm getting a ton of messages. Are you?
I am not.
Oh,
no one cares about me, I guess.
I definitely am. And I think we're going to vlog everything again this year just because last year it did so good. A lot of people were wondering, in tune and wondering like what we do exactly. So today's podcast is going to be that.
Yeah.
Answering questions.
And how do we prepare for the hurricane?
How do we prepare? What are we going to do? What have we done? It's, to you guys, it's Wednesday, but it's technically Tuesday night for us right now.
We still have a good 24 hours.
We have a good 24 hours to prep.
Which is not a lot for a lot of people.
It's not a lot. But for the people back at home that are not from Florida, they're probably like, oh my God, you're fucking crazy. Like, what do you mean you're not ready yet? Like, a lot of people freak out with things like this, which is totally understandable. You know, the news is always showing like the worst part of everything, which could happen. But we're staying positive on this side. All right, let's get into today's hurricane topics.
How do we prepare, babe?
How do we prepare? Okay. First and foremost, before you ever move into somewhere in Florida or buy a home, you're supposed to look up if you're in a flood area or not, in a flood zone, right? Before, it wasn't regulated for you to know for you to need to know before you get the house. And I think there's some new law that just passed.
It has to be clearly said, right?
That it has
before you purchase.
that instead of the owner having to do the research, now it's like, okay, you are in a flood zone, yes or no. Like,
in other words, your home is fucked because you're gonna be flooded, but still buy it. No pasa
because
nada.
there's so many people, I guess, that have been moving to Florida not knowing about flood zones, and then they're screwed. I actually saw a whole TikTok about somebody complaining about it. You know,
like no one told me that I had a flooded home.
And it's been raining a lot for the past. This rain season has been raining a lot.
Every day, pretty much.
But I think what messed it up for us was the fact that we had like a tropical storm while we were in Chicago. Do you remember? Well, were we in Chicago or Mexico?
I think it was Mexico while we were away,
Yeah, there was a tropical storm that didn't hit directly, but it was like the surroundings of it, and it was just like sitting on top of us, right?
Just raining and raining.
And we're sitting on top of the aquifer. Like Florida is literally sitting on top of the aquifer,
so
right?
Smart.
And meaning water. We're sitting on top of water, where it's water, limestone, and us.
Okay. Something
like that, right? So once the ground gets so saturated by all the water that's coming down from rain, it hits the aquifer. So then what happens once the ground is saturated, then that's when we start flooding, right, in areas. And we saw it ourselves. Once we got back, it rained a little bit, and areas that in my life I had seen a little flooded were flooded.
Yeah.
Well, had never seen flooded. My bad. Were actually flooded. And don't think flooded like, oh my God, I got to get a kayak and swim through here. No. But it was just like maybe like a foot of water in the streets and stuff. And we're like, what the hell? What's going on here? And then that's when I realized, oh yeah, we just had a tropical storm. And then after that, we kept getting rain after rain after rain. So as soon as the water would suck up some of that rain from that day, the next day it would rain again, and bam, a little flood again. And then, a few hours pass by, the ground sucks it up again, and then bam, it rains again. So we were just like never catching up and never taking a break. So that is why people are a little bit freaking out right now, because they know that our grounds are so saturated from all this rain and that last tropical storm. That is why they think this is the one.
It's not even the one because, like you're saying, winds is because of rain.
Correct.
And it's running through the whole Gulf, coming straight to our area.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So what do we do to prepare?
Yeah.
Well, one, we know we're not in a flood zone, so you are usually safe to stay. You do get alerts saying if you are in a flood zone, please evacuate. You start getting these days before the thing.
Yeah, we already got a notification earlier.
So if you really wanted to evacuate, which was one of my plans, I was like, fuck it, let's just go rent a cabin somewhere and like take the whole family. Pero mis vacas, ¿qué? So that's not happening. Si mis vacas se quedan, yo me quedo también.
Okay.
We make sure we're in a house that's not in a flood zone, number one. Number two would be to prep canned goods, stuff that won't go bad. Mando today at Trader Joe's trying to buy a bunch of meat.
A pizza, hell yeah.
Who's trying to buy all this frozen food? And I'm like, babe, hello, are you new to this? Usually you have to buy non-perishable goods.
We don't eat that though.
I know we don't, but we have to.
So why buy it?
Because technically, if we lose power, which happens during floods and storms, your refrigerator's not going to work, your stoves are not going to work, the electricity's not going to work, so you can't cook food, and anything in the refrigerator will go bad, which is why you need to buy like boxed stuff, canned stuff. Anyway, sorry, technical difficulties. That is why you're supposed to buy non-perishable goods. Stock up on water, stock up on canned goods. Imagine like the way I see it, when I'm watching the Walking Dead and the zombie apocalypse, how when they go scavenge, it's always canned, non-perishable stuff. That stuff that's gonna last you in case we do lose power and stuff. So that is number two. Number three would be to board up like big windows. What else do they board up? Yeah, windows
doors
and stuff.
That might open or whatever. Yeah.
Number four would be, that's something new to me, but it makes sense. You pick up any loose things around your home
that could cause debris and break windows.
That could cause like for it to fly away and break somebody's windows. So, for example, we have a bunch of random plywood outside. We're probably gonna have to go put it in the container. Or like botes de basura y cosas así, put it in your garage and pick up all that stuff. And ¿qué más, babe? What am I missing?
Evacuate. You said evacuations, right? Evacuations. If you had to go.
Oh wait, I forgot one. Buy batteries, candles, matches. Mando likes to get like a cooler with a bunch of ice, which I think is genius. Like if you have Yetis and coolers like that will keep the ice for like ever. Good idea. Some people even fill up the bathtub with water.
What's that for?
I don't remember, but I remember.
I guess if you lose water.
Yeah, I guess like shower water, maybe. I don't know.
Makes sense.
What else am I forgetting? If you have generators, battery packs, keep them all charged. And that is all I could think of.
Yeah, for sure.
Speakers, if you're going to have a party.
Yeah, I'm glad you said a party. A lot of people in Florida, they decide to throw
a banger.
Hurricane parties and end up drinking and eating all their hurricane necessities before the hurricane even gets here.
It's true.
It's a common thing in Florida.
I haven't done one, believe it or not.
And she's trying to do one this time.
Well, I guess technically we kind of do it, but not really like a real one. Every time we go to my mom's, we're like big chilling. I guess it's not a party. No, it's not a party. Have we got drunk before?
No, a party would be like drinking and music and getting torn up
while the
hurricane's going on.
A lot of people do it. I have a lot of friends. I see it on their stories. Not recommendable, but another thing. Some people might not know exactly what is a hurricane. Like what happens during hurricanes. What happens is just a lot of rain. A lot of rain and a lot of winds.
Heavy winds sometimes.
Heavy winds, depending on what category the hurricane is, which is category 1 through 5, 5 being the worst, which has never happened here in Florida, or at least it hasn't in many years. Usually the categories, once they, like the worst that they usually get is in the water. The hotter the water, the worse it will get.
Which right now we've had a very, very hot summer, so that means the waters are hot. Yeah, that's why we have hurricanes around this season.
But once it hits land, that's when it starts dying down. Not right away,
loses power.
But it starts losing power. Correct. So usually during a hurricane, we're inside the house and it literally looks like it's just raining outside. It does look a little windier, but nothing scary like a twister or a tornado or anything crazy like that at Tornado Alley. No, it doesn't look nothing like that. There is areas though, luckily I've never been in an area like this, but there is areas that get very bad, very flooded. Maybe it's like an area that has a lot of debris and stuff everywhere, so there's a lot of movement going on. But luckily,
essentially what happens is that the hurricane passes, right? If it's gonna pass right through, let's say your city, the eye passes, right? The eye is like the worst part, middle part, the worst thing you could get. But a lot of people confuse it just because the eye is not passing directly of your city,
directly over your city.
Yeah, there's still like very strong gusts of wind all around it. You know? So there's not that much to a hurricane. This is a big, huge storm, you know.
And I get it why people like freak out, especially people that are not Floridians, because you see the worst on the news and stuff. I get it, but I feel like it's still not as bad for. At least for me, I don't see it that bad because we get a heads up. We get so much of a head. We get like a week before. We know it's coming.
Yeah, at least 4 or 5 days that we know for sure it's coming.
And most, if not all jobs, they do not work during hurricanes, So usually if you are truly scared, you can literally pick up and leave. Yeah. Even 2 days before it hits, you could still get up.
You could have left yesterday.
Yeah, you could leave yesterday. You could go to Atlanta for a night. You could go somewhere more up north. And call it a day. Or if you know that the that the hurricane is hitting on this side of Florida, you could go to the opposite side of Florida, which is what a lot of people do too.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, we used to live in a mobile home, a trailer, and we had to evacuate because one, we lived right next to Lake Okeechobee, and there's always a theory that the barrier between the lake and the land, it's gonna break and everything's gonna get flooded. So they always recommend us to leave. So we would leave. Literally, we're on one coast. We'll go to the next coast, which was Fort Myers, and there was like we'll stay like at a gym and then literally just lay out. And it was fun at the time.
Oh, what are those called?
Refugees? No,
I don't know. Look it
no,
up.
they're called. I don't know.
So a lot of stadiums, a lot of schools, a lot of even like big gyms, like YMCA's, a lot of these big
shelters.
Buildings, turn into shelters.
There you go. That's
for people that live in flood zones, for people that live in mobile homes, because you're supposed to evacuate if you live in mobile homes. So there's shelters everywhere, and there's a list all over, like social media, online, everywhere, so people can know that you could do that. And it's just like a huge sleepover.
Yeah, huge sleepover. I remember as a kid, all our cousins, all our uncles were there. It was a big old party because all the families took snacks, right? And then we'll just literally like pick an area at the stadium on the floor. It wasn't like a 5-star thing.
No, pues no. I'm
We're literally in air mattresses or on the floor sleeping. But the cool thing was there's like a cafeteria area. And then everyone would hang out there. Whoever wanted to hang out, and everyone was playing Uno or Loteria. It was like a big party. Was there like a curfew?
You know? Like okay, at this time you gotta... I think
there was a curfew because at a certain time we had to all come to bed. But we were there only like 1 or 2 nights. But you had to respect and you had to be quiet because people were sleeping.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. And there's all ages, elders, babies.
It wasn't the best thing. But as a kid... I'm pretty sure, like you don't really care. You know?
At what age was the last time that you went? Because we have hurricanes every year, honey.
At 10.
And then after that, your parents just YOLO'd it.
They YOLO'd it or go to a hotel or something. But that was like the last time that I remember. I was 10, but it was fun. Mm-hmm. At that point, you're little and young, and you look forward to hurricanes because you don't know any better, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's our little what's it called? Experience back in the day. Mm-hmm. But I was talking to the girl at Trader Joe's today, and I don't know. I'm not 100% on this, but I do believe it a little bit. I feel like the media hypes up the hurricanes and pushes the news a little more. One, to put the ratings up. The ratings
of
on
course.
The news. So like breaking news and no sé qué. They hype this thing up to make it like the bigger than what it is, which is fine because at the end of the day, people are going to take precautions, right?
Yeah. Ideally, the goal is to get people to...
Right. But there's people with a little bit of breaking news, they act. So then that's when you got the shelters. That's when you got Walmart food, the gas stations, people just panicking. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, what it also brings is a surplus to the economy, the local economy at least. You're buying all over the grocery stores. You're buying shit you don't even need. Mm-hmm. Some people are like, all right, fuck it. I'm already here. I'm going to buy some fucking toilet paper and dishwashing soap.
Yeah. So it's como un sentido doble, like for the economy and for the news and all that
to put the economy up, the commercials and everything.
Man, you would think that by now they'll have better ways of predicting these things, right?
But
like
they don't.
An exact, like right now, it shows that it can be any one of us, anyone on this side of Florida.
From like Houston to Tampa.
Literally, it can go towards Texas too.
So that's what I'm saying. They're not that they're faking it, but they overanalyze it and they make it a bigger thing.
Maybe they could pinpoint it more. But if they pinpoint it to just like, let's say Tallahassee, then they'll miss out on all these sales.
Tampa's not going to be worried.
From everywhere else. You know what? Imagine if that's true. That's crazy. Because at first I was like, wait a minute. People do have to know, and they should freak out because there's places that have been hit, and we saw
they suffer really bad.
When was it? Last year? No, the year before.
Punta Gorda.
When we were in Arcadia and stuff. That people didn't have power for a long time. That was really
bad.
Exactly. So I get what you're saying though, but
no, I'm not saying it's. I think at the end of the day, it's a great thing that they overdo it because most of the people
sometimes they don't leave, or sometimes they can't leave.
They can't leave, and we saw that last year. I mean, it was bad. It was bad down there. We saw really bad homes just destroyed by hurricanes. Flooding was really bad in Fort Myers and all that. So
I've never seen that before. I had never seen it like that. Or any area hit like that.
So yeah, like it's crazy that you bring that up, how we've been getting hit with a lot of rain. And then now comes a hurricane and possibly bring even more rain. So that's what worries me, Even with a little bit of rain in the backyard, it starts getting flooded recently because of all the rain that's going down. So
Yeah. So yeah, you guys, those are the precautions that we take. Another new precaution that we have is my vacas.
Oh.
People are asking me, Lily Bae, what are you gonna do with your vacas? And I'm like, let me ask. So I already did my research and I already asked my cow team.
And what's your cow team
And they
say?
all said to just leave them. Leave them in the back.
Don't overdo it. Okay.
Don't but they wouldn't leave them like caged in, like let them roam around because they like. And it makes sense. They're like, there's people that have hundreds of vacas. Where do you expect them to put them at, you know, when they live on like acres and acres of land? But my other plan is to put them in here, in this very podcast room.
In here?
Like pick all this shit up and bring them in here. But we'll see. We'll see when that time comes. We still have a lot of time to see which way it's going to come. But they do have a casita.
I like plan A.
They do have a casita in the back, but I would rather let them roam around. That way, you know.
There's a big yard back there, so
if something's coming, they can move the hell out the way.
They're pretty fast when they want to be.
When they get the zoomies.
But they're slow as hell.
I did talk to both of the people that I got them from, and they both said just let them be.
Don't overdo it, Lily Bae. Got it.
But if I see that it's like you know, let's say worst comes to worst.
Imagine you see a cow flying in there.
Ay, Armando. And we get like hit by like a tsunami or something.
No, but then we're all fucked.
No. Well, maybe not a tsunami, but to the point where we got to go upstairs. I'm taking my cows upstairs. Babe, Armando.
That's ridiculous.
You never know.
No, that is not going to happen. Come on now.
You just got to think the worst.
No, don't ever think the worst, guys. If you take one consejo from Lily Bae, don't take that one.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. If I have to get on my roof, my cows are going to be up there with me.
Are you delirious right now?
I'm being dead serious. What do you think? I'm going to leave Chalino and Chapo? ¿Estás loco o qué?
All right, guys. I think we need a break.
Anyways.
Lily needs a break. We'll be right back.
You think I'm playing? I don't know why you think I'm playing.
I think you are playing.
I'm being dead serious.
I'm still recording.
Te quedas aquí abajo tú primero.
Okay, bye. We'll be back. All right, and we are back. What is up, babe? How you doing over there? What was the last thing that you saw right there on your phone right now?
I'm looking for a coffee table.
For what?
For the living room.
We need one.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Wow,
quick.
he said okay. He didn't fight me about it.
I recently just finished my 21-day challenge.
Jeez.
Body transformation. And I'm here to tell you what I learned and what positives I got out of it, right?
Okay.
I feel like it was challenging, but I felt like it was cool to put things into like smaller goals versus a full long-term goal. You know?
Oh, okay.
I was focused on 21 days. And once the 21 days ended, then I was like, okay, what did I accomplish? And what did I learn? So that's where I'm at right now, you know? I did notice that my body did change. And I did notice that if I focus like truly, I could get somewhere, you know? What do you think about that?
I think that's awesome. What's the next step after this?
The next step is to maybe take it up a notch a little more.
Oh, okay.
Because I know that it's possible now. And just with a little bit of focus, which I did have, I think I can accomplish more. So I'm excited to see what more there is to do, you know?
Can I give you a little tip?
A ver.
I know you're a very busy man, extremely busy. So I know how your day-to-day literally wraps up in 2 seconds every day. Like your day flies by you.
Right.
Right? So instead of just waiting on, a ver, cuando me da tiempo para ponerme las pilas otra vez, otras 3 semanas, right? Like your smaller goals, like you said, baby goals, instead of looking at the huge picture, just looking at the 3 weeks, you got to say right now, like, okay, let's work on these next 3 weeks. Instead of waiting
for another
If you
2
wait
months.
a week or two past, you just killed your last 2 weeks you just went ham on. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So for me, yesterday, which was your cheat
day
day because you were super focused for 21 days. For me, I usually take that day y ya para el otro día, okay, we're back on it.
Yeah.
Instead of just waiting, which I know is what you were going to do. Like, you were going to work out, but you weren't going to have a plan. Like, okay, now I got to, okay, these next 3 weeks, what's going to be my focus?
Keep going, or at least from here to Mexico, you know?
But you get exactly.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I do. Like, I set myself with little goals.
Small goals, yeah.
Uh-huh. So with that said, what do you think about what I just said?
Yeah, I think that's great. We got to put a plan and put it to action.
And not just let it be.
So, yeah, that's something that I could practice on too. I feel like a lot of what it's helping me too is like surrounding myself with the correct people to help me stay focused and motivated. Which you guys met my trainer 2 podcasts ago, and he's keeping me also like, focused and accountable. I think that's a big thing there. Keeping yourself accountable to somebody. It's hard to do, but I think it's important. At one point, it was just me and you keeping each other accountable.
Y te vale verga lo que yo digo.
And so, I mean, you weren't doing that great either. But now that we have trainers, we at least I feel like it. Not that we respect them more, but we're like, oh shit, we got to poner las pilas because we fully got a trainer.
To me, it's like no excuses.
But yeah. I think that's it when it comes to that.
No, I just asked you, so are you going to do what I said, like another goal?
So that from here till Mexico, ponerme las pilas. And
Mexico's in 2 weeks.
No, 1 week.
Oh, next week?
Yeah, next week.
1
week. So I have a week to be, focused. And I also thought about something. I'm like, yes, you make a plan, but you got to execute it too. Like, for example, we went to Miami this weekend, just literally one day. And the reason that I got a hotel versus an Airbnb is that at the hotel there's a gym, so that way it motivates me even more and makes it easier for me to work out. I didn't use it, but it was there. I did go run and we worked out at the beach. But like I said, just staying focused and actually doing it. Making a plan versus not. Before it was like, fuck it, we'll go to Miami and we'll see what happens. But this time we kind of went with a plan, But I do want to say thank you to everyone that has been commenting and showing a lot of love on my post on Instagram, just motivating the shit out of me, I feel like that is actually key too. So whenever you see somebody echándole ganas, it doesn't take too much time and just to say, damn, you're killing it, or keep on going, because it does mean a lot. And I'm getting those messages a lot more lately. So that's what actually pushes me even more.
You know what I think is badass
I can't let people down no more, Go ahead.
You know what I think is badass too for you? That a lot of guys hit you up to tell you that that's badass.
They're not shy.
Mando mentioned one thing, and I 1,000% agree with him. Like, it's one thing for un Mexicano to think, oh, that guy's killing it. But it's another thing for them to say it, because, like I said, in Latino America and Mexicanos, people are usually very machistas, and we get that. We all know somebody like that. And for them to ever tell somebody else, oh, you're doing a good job, you're never going to hear it, right? But lately, I've been, not only to you, they'll message me like, oh, you and Mando, or Mando's killing it, or whenever I post it or whatever. And I think that's badass, because I know that also motivates you to, I feel like for girls, it's more normal. Like, hype girls, we hype each other up, because I have a lot of my girls
that's easy
that hype me up, right? But when I see the guys tell Mando, that's when I'm like, damn, that's good that he's also getting that hype, because you deserve it, babe. You've done amazing.
Thank you guys once again for all the comments, all the love. Aquí andamos echándole ganas, and we're not gonna stop. I'm not gonna let you guys down, and the more you guys congratulate me and show me love, the harder I'm going to go. I promise you. But I have a question for you, babe. What did one hurricane say to another?
I don't know.
I have one eye on you.
You're so stupid.
What is up? We are not done with the
hurricane
topic. I know you guys are wondering, where do these names come from, right? But I've read that there's like an actual pot where they grab them from, but it goes in alphabetical order. So right now we're on the letter H. What's after H?
I.
The next hurricane is going to be
Irene.
With the I, and then so far and so on.
Yeah, right now it's Hurricane Helen, by the way, in case you're wondering.
Hurricane Helen.
All right, but I'm going to tell you a few facts about hurricanes since we are on that topic. Most of them we already said: the eye of the storm, heavy rainfall, they are a tropical storm, all of that good stuff. But did you know that the largest hurricane on record is typhoon tip? Because they also call hurricanes typhoons and cyclones, depending on where you're at, right? Which occurred in 1979 in the Northwest Pacific. The diameter of 2,220 kilometers, it was nearly half the size of the United States.
Holy moly. And did it make landfall?
1979. That wasn't even that long ago.
Twice the size of the United States?
Yeah. Damn. No, almost half the size of the United States.
That's still huge. Because like the one right now is not even as big as Florida.
Yeah.
You know? But damn, that's huge.
It also says what you just said. Hurricanes are given names by alphabetical order. Each year, tropical storms are named according to a list produced by the WMO. Okay. The name stays with the storm, and if it develops into a hurricane, the names can only be repeated after 6 years.
So once your name is called, you gotta wait 6 years, baby.
Something that I didn't know is that in the southern hemispheres, hurricanes rotate in a clockwise direction, and in the northern hemispheres, they rotate anti-clockwise direction.
Dang, I would think they all do the same. You know?
Yeah, me too. I would have never thought that. This is due to something produced by the Earth's rotation.
I wonder if we're already getting to the part like if this is a movie, but where we're getting more hurricanes than usual versus back in the 1800s, you know, when there was no record. I guess we will never know.
We will never know. Well, supposedly, you know, global warming, you know, sé qué. Because hurricanes form over warm water, which we said earlier. So if there's climate, you know, if there's global warming, then I would assume there's more hurricanes. But did you know most hurricanes occur out in the sea? So out in the middle of the ocean, there's always thousands of hurricanes. We just never know of them because they never come close enough to the land. But once they come towards the land, that's when they become incredibly dangerous and cause serious damage.
Yeah, so imagine being on your car going 20 miles per hour. That's pretty much the average speed of the hurricane. Making un pinche desmadre 20 miles per hour, you guys. That's crazy. 20 miles per hour.
That is not the average hurricane.
The speed that it travels.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that it's traveling, not but the winds, the like spirals. I was degrees. Like, wait a minute. 150 degrees, Armando? Degrees?
Miles per hour, my bad. It's getting late up in here. But yeah, 20 miles per hour going slowly, fucking shit up.
So it will take it at least 2 hours to cross Tampa, right? Not just like an area of it, not the whole thing, depending on how big it is.
Manejan más rápido las viejitas around
here. It'll take forever. When is hurricane season? Globally, September is the most active month for hurricanes.
It starts in July, it ends in November? Is that right?
Something like that. It just depends where exactly you're at. But let me see. We are in... Yeah, June 1st through November 30th. And this is the first one for this hurricane season, right? The first one that almost... Well, the other one was the tropical storm.
Tropical storm.
It never made it to a
And we're at the end of September, so we're halfway there.
All right. I'm going to go through this real quick just in case we missed one. How do you prepare for a hurricane? Stay informed. So watch the news. A lot of nowadays, your phone gets a lot of alerts and it sends you things to do, evacuation routes and all of that good stuff. Prepare an evacuation plan just in case. And that's something that we kind of do with my parents. Like, we'll be like, hey, like if it gets bad, we're going to go over there. Or, you know, or it's not recommended for you to drive during a hurricane, but people literally still drive during a hurricane. Pack emergency supplies, secure your home. Take measures to protect your property from high winds, flooding. There's people that there's parks in the area that give out free sandbags. Usually people put them around the doors, by the garage, like underneath the garage door.
Make sure
and
no
all that.
water gets in your house.
Yeah.
All right, but if for whatever reason one day you're caught in between the eye of the hurricane, that is the worst place to be. Because the winds, that eye is supposed to be the calm, but then the storm comes. So
you're technically right in the middle of it.
Pretty
you're
much
about
prepare
to get
for the
hit,
worst. So yeah, just so you guys know.
What have been the costliest hurricanes, meaning the hurricanes that have made the most damage?
Katrina.
This one, it's number one.
That's crazy.
Hurricane Katrina 2005 was costed the United States $192.5 billion.
That's crazy.
$1 billion, which took place in mainly Louisiana and Mississippi. That was actually supposed to hit Florida, but it actually went more north. The second one was also very, not even that long ago, Hurricane Harvey.
Oh,
In
Harvey.
2017.
That was Texas, right?
It made landfall in Texas, and it costed the United States $152.5 billion, flooding Houston and the surrounding areas.
That one time out, I remember Kathy selling her home in Texas.
Oh, yeah, my friend. My friend ended up selling her house and moving back to Florida because I think it damaged the home. Flooded it.
And she moved over here, but then she came over here.
Damn, these things are getting closer and closer.
Hurricane City.
Number 3 was Hurricane Ian in 2022.
Dang.
Ian ranked a path of destruction across the southeastern United States, devastating the Gulf Coast of Florida before making landfall in South Carolina 2 days later, costing the United States $114 billion.
So having all that said, babe, are we 100% ready for Hurricane Helen?
Absolutely not.
What is next? What do we have to do to get ready?
You have to board up all my windows.
All of them?
Yes.
Not necessary.
Or at least the main ones. You have to go buy more food, more water. And I think
it's just 2 of us.
You have to think the worst. Like if the light goes out, it's not going to go off for 24 hours. It could go off for 2-3 weeks if it's really bad.
Chingas, babe. 3 weeks.
It's happened before.
What else? What else we need?
I think
gas
that's it.
in the car.
Gas in the car. Which
waters. We got a lot of water. That wraps it up. I think we're 50% ready. The vacas are good. We are good. We got food. We got gas.
We are not 50% ready.
We got water.
We're like 5% ready.
Pray for us, you guys, because it's going to be a long hurricane. Nah, just kidding. I feel good.
Wait, have you ever been in a hurricane where you were without water or light for a long time?
No.
Oh, yeah, we were.
Really?
Yeah, at least 2 or 3 weeks, no light, no water, all in West Tampa. The
What?
only ones that had light was my mom's store. And I told you we would go sleep there at my mom. Maybe not 3 weeks.
3
like 2
weeks. Oh, okay.
Maybe
yeah,
like
the
2
most
weeks.
we've been maybe like 3-4 days. And then
So
bam,
in times like that is why you need to buy enough food to last you that long. So, because you don't know what area, like it could be all of Tampa loses
That's
power.
true.
You never know. Right? Yeah. I don't know. Me, like I see like all these facts that I just read, Hurricane Katrina. We literally went to go see people in Arcadia. And I'm like, damn, like there was areas that you couldn't even get to because of the flooding from like, what was it, like bridges or something? So that's what you got to think. Like imagine it being that bad.
Yeah, and to me it's crazy, you guys, because, I mean, I'm going to say it. Lily doesn't take a lot of things seriously. Not that she don't take them seriously, but she's like, no, there you go. A lot of things Lily lives her life by is no pasa nada. Like a lot.
Well, let me.
A lot. Hold on. Let me finish. A lot of things.
I'll put you out.
But when it comes to hurricanes, for some reason, she's like takes the biggest precautions on these things.
Really not the biggest precaution.
She makes sure that like from A to Z is checked off. I'm like, Is there some trauma behind
Can
some
I put
hurricane
you out then?
or something? I don't care.
So what I told Mando is that I grew up with my dad. A hurricane's coming. My dad boards everything up right away. My dad and my parents have a shit ton of food. Well, they own grocery stores. So imagine all the food that we had in the house. Our house was an area where some people that my mom knew that lived in like mobile homes, they would come stay at our house, you know? So we had always a ton of food. My dad always has generators, like candles. We had everything. So I would just literally sit back and chill, no pasa nada, because my parents had everything under control, right? My dad, mainly my dad. Yeah. Llegamos aquí a la casa and this is Mando.
Chilling, big chilling.
So then that's when I panic a little bit because I need que se pongan las pinches pilas. Like, I want to chill, but I can't because you're chilling. So I'm like, one of us got to do shit around here, you know?
I guess I go back to my past life. Not my, I guess, is that how you say it?
Your dad.
No, my past life. Come from a mobile home. A tropical storm could fuck it all up.
So y'all would never prepare. Y'all
we would. We would. My dad would take the biggest precautions, right? But now, for some reason, I live in a home and it feels like I'm in the fort. It feels like I'm in the fort and this thing is built.
You want to see homes?
Like a fort. I'm telling you, that's what I feel. I'm sure there's homes that are way bigger and stronger, but this is what I feel. Like,
but it's not like that, honey.
And it's like, what's the big deal? I think Lily Bay, if she's overreacting on anything, it's definitely during hurricane
Let me know
season.
down below. Let Mando know down below in the comments, you guys.
But hopefully, I mean, we'll see you guys on Thursday and no pasa nada. But if not, it's all my fault at the end of the day. And regardless, if something does happen, no pasa nada. It's still my fault. But it's all good. It's all good. I think we'll be all right. 9 times out of 10. It's always a little more like hyped up and maybe more than that. 99% of the time, it's more hyped up than it really is. But at the end of the day, like we started this podcast.
Tell the people that went through Katrina and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, how we started this podcast, we said it's good that it gets hyped up so people could 100% get ready.
Yes, babe.
And prepare for these hurricanes.
Yes, babe.
Which is very, very important. So, you know, we're only... 4 years into home owning and making sure that things get taken care of. So little by little we'll get there, and we're a work in progress. It's a work in progress into being a better hurricane preparer. Maybe one day, but not today. We're working on that. But yeah, anything else? But hopefully you guys enjoyed today's podcast. We got to get going. We got to get started with all the preparations and all that crazy things that we have to do here in Florida. This is another reason for you guys not to want to move to Florida. It's not a good idea. You know, we got to deal with these kind of things. So see you guys on episode 105 and have a great rest of your day. Thank you guys.
Bye.